Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is now 2:42 p.m. Central, 3:42 p.m. Eastern, and you have a live look at what is quite possibly the beginning of one of the largest tornado outbreaks in mid-Mississippi Valley history, at least since records started. So before we get into the synopsis for today, we've already talked about it several times. There are some important things that we do need to go over. Currently, we do have a strong indicator of a potential ongoing tornado near the town of Van Buren, Missouri. Now, you may or may not know this, but Van Buren, Missouri was hit by one of the strongest tornadoes of the March 14th outbreak, the high NDF3 that hit areas like Van Buren and Fremont, crossing Highway 60, causing catastrophic damage. Van Buren was also under a flash flood emergency during the April Missouri and Arkansas floods, and now they are facing another threat for a significant tornado. If we take a look at the velocities here, you'll notice that we do have an extreme couplet just northwest of the Critter Corner area, or the Kreitz Corner area, rather. So if you are included in this tornado warning, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Now, they did just extend this tornado warning out further off to the east. This now includes Piedmont, Greenville, Puxico, and Ellisnor. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you're doing the same. If you're in a mobile home, you need to be evacuating and finding a more substantial structure to get into. Again, this is potentially a significant tornado ongoing. Now, you'll notice if we switch over here to the correlation coefficient product, there's a big old drop there right in the middle of your screen. Now, is that a tornadic debris signature? No. If this was a tornadic debris signature, this would be one of the strongest tornadoes of all time, but it is not. That is hail contamination, because along with this potential for a significant tornado, this discrete, nasty little supercell is also producing hail between softball and DVD size. So again, you can see those purple, pink, and blue pixels there on the reflectivity. Those are indicative of your extremely large hailstones falling with this storm. So again, there's no current indication that we do have an ongoing tornado, but it is entirely possible for that to change within the next 5 minutes or so. This is a live look from storm chaser Nathan Moore. You'll notice all the violent motion in those clouds there. Again, this is most likely going to produce a tornado here within the next 5 to 10 minutes if it's not already. So if you are east of Van Buren, you need to be in your safe spot. Again, either underground in a storm shelter or on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and in an interior room, as this is a very, very significant situation where, again, this storm is going to have the potential to produce a violent to catastrophic tornado. You'll already notice that the winds are elevating quite a bit out here, and again, some of that massive hail is likely going to become evident on Nathan Moore's feed here very shortly. So again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in here this evening. Again, we've got a long day of significant severe weather coverage ahead. You can see everybody getting into the stores. It's getting pretty gnarly out there. We got some sort of significant lowering here. I don't think that this is just scud. I think that this is an actual area of lowering here associated with this supercell. So we'll see what that does. There is the potential that that is an ongoing tornado. We can't see any sort of ground circulation because we're not looking down there. But again, something significant about to happen here very soon. So again, if you're in this area east of Van Buren, Missouri, you need to be in your safe spot immediately, because this is a seriously, this is the most dangerous situation that you could really find yourself in. You've got a discrete supercell in a volatile setup that's already producing hail up to softball size, damaging winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour. Look at all those trees shaking around. And again, it also has the potential to produce a violent tornado if it's not already. So if you're in this area, you need to be in your safe spot. Again, we're watching this likely try to produce a tornado right now as we speak. That's where your tornado would be located. They're right over this gas station. Look at the elevation of those winds, guys. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation for areas off to the east of Van Buren. Again, this is going to be near Elsinore. So if you're in this area, again, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Not in 5 minutes, but now, as there's the potential that we do have a significant tornado ongoing with this supercell. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Stream Chat here. If you do have any questions about your location, make sure to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly, because this is going to be one of the most intense days of severe weather coverage that we've ever had on this channel. Again, it seems like we've been saying that a lot recently, but 2025 has just had such an active severe weather season thus far, and I really do think that as we go towards the end of May, things are going to start to ramp up once again here. Again, this is kind of day 2 of this extremely active stretch of significant severe weather that we're seeing across the portions of the Midwest, the Deep South, and the Southern Plains. Obviously, yesterday we had our extreme tornado outbreak in Michigan, which, by the way, we are starting to see pictures and videos of catastrophic damage of homes completely destroyed from Martin. So again, obviously a very devastating situation. Look at that. What is going on there? Look at all that blowing dust. Wow. So again, even if there's not an ongoing tornado with this, you need to be in your safe spot, because in general, this is just an extremely dangerous supercell that has the potential to down trees and power lines. It has the potential to shatter windshields with that hail, softball, potentially up to DVD player size. Give me just a second here. Let me make sure that we are actually live. Okay, I think we should be good. I'm trying to find the stream. For some reason, I can't load it up here, but I think we should be good to go. Give me a 1 in chat if we're working all right. Again, this is going to be a very intense day of severe weather coverage here. There's a chance that we're here for 11, 12 hours. Okay, reportedly we have oh my goodness. We now have a PDS tornado in St. Louis. If you are in this area, you need to run, not walk, to your safe spot. This is a violent tornado ongoing in the St. Louis metro area. This is a catastrophic situation. We have an unbelievable debris signature north side of St. Louis. This is a violent tornado capable of causing extreme, widespread mass destruction. I'm not saying that to be dramatic or to scare anybody, but this is a violent tornado ongoing. This is one of the largest debris signatures I've ever seen in lifetime. That velocity couplet is indicative of a tornado producing, oh my goodness. Guys, this is an emergency situation. I would not be surprised if this goes tornado emergency. If you are in Granite City, Glen Carbon, or Edwardsville in western Illinois, you need to get underground or into a storm shelter. This is a catastrophic tornado ongoing, likely causing extreme damage now as this moves off to the east-northeast. This is a violent and potentially catastrophic tornado ongoing. The gate-to-gate shear here is around 250 miles an hour, most likely. If we go and switch over to the velocities, we can get a better look at it. We'll go and look at tilt 2 on the velocities. Yeah, this is a catastrophic situation. We have gate-to-gate shear. Oh my goodness. We've got gate-to-gate shear close to 200 miles an hour. Again, one of the largest debris signatures I've ever seen. This thing is crossing Interstate 70 right now on the north side of St. Louis, Missouri. Again, this is a catastrophic situation. This is a violent tornado. Again, this is one of the most extreme situations we've ever had live on stream. Again, this is a violent tornado ongoing in the St. Louis metro area. This is not, oh, it's going on the north side of town, the south side of town, the east side of town. No, this went through the heart of the St. Louis metro area, likely causing extreme to catastrophic damage, and it's going to continue to try to do that as this approaches Glen Carbon and Edwardsville. If you are in this area, you have to run, not walk, to your safe spot. This is a violent tornado on the ground right now in downtown metro St. Louis. Storm Intermedia actually is not too far away from where this is at. Storm Intermedia currently is in central Missouri. They're near the community of Oak Ridge, which again is kind of west of the St. Louis metro area. I believe we'll go ahead and take a closer look at that. But again, if you were out here, you absolutely have to run, not walk, to your safe spot. Okay, so they're in southern Missouri. Again, likely going for some of these supercells that we are expecting to develop later in the day in parts of western Kentucky that are going to have the potential to produce strong tornadoes. Again, this isn't even the main event, guys, but we currently have a catastrophic tornado ongoing here in the St. Louis metro. This is unbelievable. This is one of the most deadly situations you will find yourself in your entire life. Unfortunately, this is destroying homes. It is, whatever it's hitting, it's completely destroying. Again, I don't say stuff like that a lot because I don't want to scare anybody, but this is a violent tornado ongoing on the north side of St. Louis, Missouri, now crossing the Missouri-Illinois state line. This is near Granite City and Namoki. If you're in this area, you have to run to your safe spot. This is a violent tornado, likely EF3, EF4, EF5 intensity. This is lofting debris, likely tens of thousands of feet up into the atmosphere. In fact, I bet you if we look from the Lincoln radar here, yeah, you could still see the debris being lofted into the atmosphere by this thing from the Lincoln, Illinois radar over 100 miles away. So, again, if you are in this area, you have to run, not walk, to your safe spot. This is a violent tornado ongoing north of St. Louis, Missouri. Again, this is likely near the Granite City area right now. This just crossed the Mississippi River. This is unbelievable. Give me just a second here. Trying to share this out with as many people as possible. Again, if you know anybody out here in the mid-Mississippi Valley today, make sure to send them this stream because we're going to be here all day for what is likely going to be, again, the most intense day of severe weather coverage that we've ever had on this channel, especially with what we've just seen here on the north side of St. Louis. Again, if you're now tuning in, a violent tornado just touched down on the north side of the St. Louis metro area. We're going to see if we can find any photos of this because there have got to be so many cameras out here, and this is such a violent tornado. Oh my goodness. There is, at least a few minutes ago, this was a violent wedge. This thing was huge. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Again, it was heavily rain-wrapped, but you can see it very clearly. This is a good half-mile wide wedge tornado that just hit the north side of St. Louis. That is awful. Oh my goodness. Visible from the Gateway Arch camera, this was one of the most violent tornadoes I think we've ever seen in live time on this channel. Oh my goodness. Again, this is a catastrophic situation for areas north of St. Louis at this point. I know this didn't go tornado emergency, and I don't know why, but you need to treat this like a tornado emergency. If you're in Glen Carbon or Edwardsville, Illinois, you need to be in your safe spot, either underground or in a storm shelter immediately. Again, this is not a normal tornado. This is not your everyday, cone tornado in the middle of May that touches down here in the Midwest. This is a violent wedge. It is. There's no other way to put it. Again, this is an extremely concentrated area of circulation. Likely hit the Fountain Park area the hardest. So, again, if you know anybody out here in St. Louis, you have to call them and make sure that they are okay and that they are taking this seriously. Again, prayers for everybody out here in St. Louis because this was one of the most extreme tornadoes we've ever seen hit the metro area. I can't believe it. Again, a catastrophic tornado just hit downtown St. Louis, Missouri. If you are just now tuning in, again, we're continuing to watch significant to violent tornadoes develop here in eastern Missouri as we go over the next several hours, and we're expecting later today for that threat to increase, especially across portions of western Kentucky, far southern Illinois, and southeastern Missouri. As we go into, say 5, 6, 7 p.m., we are expecting the threat for a couple of violent tornadoes to be in play. And again, we've absolutely seen this start up early here with our tornado that just hit downtown St. Louis. Again, this is a radar scan that will go down as a textbook historic radar imagery. I mean, I've never seen anything like that in an area that populated. This is unbelievable. Again, we're talking EF3, EF4, EF5. It doesn't really matter. But without a doubt, this is a violent tornado. Again, likely occluding. However, there is still debris being thrown thousands of feet up into the atmosphere over Granite City. So if you're in this area, you have to remain either underground or in a storm shelter. Again, this is a PDS tornado warning for sections of southwestern Illinois, including the downtown St. Louis metro area. Again, I cannot believe what we just saw. I'm afraid that we're going to start to see some of the most extreme damage photos that we've seen in quite a while come out of this area. Again, a violent tornado just hit downtown St. Louis. Again, this is unbelievable. Again, we're going to try and see if we can find anything here ASAP for you guys, because we're going to need updates out of here, like, now. Oh, my goodness. Again, either way, a catastrophic tornado just impacted the St. Louis metro. Again, we've never seen a tornado hit an area that populated live on stream. We've already got photos of debarked trees. Yeah. So, this is, again, one of the largest tornadoes that we've ever covered live on stream. Again, likely a quarter-mile wide at least. Again, an emergency situation for the northeast side of St. Louis. They're already sending emergency vehicles out there to help. Again, catastrophic tornado ongoing, without a doubt. My goodness. Again, if you're in this area, you have to remain either underground or in a storm shelter. Yeah, no chasers are on this because, unfortunately, chasers don't want to go into a metro area like this because it's almost impossible to chase out here. And, again, really downtown St. Louis, we were not expecting anything like that out of our QLCS today moving through the St. Louis metro area. For anybody wondering why this tornado occluded, it's likely because this is not in a fully discrete environment here. It kind of got its inflow choked off by a supercell to the south, thank God. Again, I mean, this is unbelievable. What just happened here on the north side of St. Louis. Isn't debarking trees EF3? Again, it doesn't really matter right now, but in most situations, depending on the type of tree, yes, it is EF3 plus damage indicator to see debarked trees. But again, right now that really doesn't matter. We've got to focus in on what's ongoing. Again, I don't want to just ignore our folks down here in the Williamsville area, because this is also a supercell that's going to have the potential to do something just as intense. So if you're in Williamsville, Greenville, or Puxico, Missouri, you need to be either underground or in a storm shelter, as this is going to have the potential to produce a catastrophic tornado within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Not saying that it's going to happen, but it is a very real possibility. And again, if you're in this area, you need to be absolutely prepared, on high alert for this, because we have seen what these kind of supercells are going to be able to do in this environment, and it is not good. Again, we likely just had one of the strongest tornadoes in St. Louis metro history just rip through the downtown area. Again, we had 131 miles an hour going against 37 miles an hour at the surface, guys. This is a surface radar scan, virtually. Again, this is just unbelievable. Let's see what it looks like from the terminal radar here. Probably going to be just as intense. Yeah, wow. Again, this totally broke the terminal radar velocities. And we're getting reports of damage now from Clayton, large tree down on the power lines. That's only going to get much more significant here very shortly. So this is no longer a PDS tornado warning, but this is still a radar-indicated tornado warning for Collinsville and Edwardsville in Illinois. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Again, catastrophic tornado just impacted downtown St. Louis. So if you know anybody out there, please, please, please give them a call or text. Make sure that they're okay. We did just get a brand new tornado watch issued for portions of the Ohio River Valley. We're going to go ahead and bring this up on your screen. This is actually the main risk area for today, so listen up. This tornado watch is going out for portions of central Illinois back through western Kentucky, extreme southeast Missouri, and most of the state of Indiana. This is for widespread gusts up to 80 miles an hour likely, widespread hail up to tennis ball size likely, and several tornadoes likely. This is a high-end tornado watch. Give me just a sec. Let's see if we can hear it on the radio. We can't. Yeah, unfortunately, there's quite a bit of fog out here this evening, so it's going to be virtually impossible to get any signal there from our NOAA weather radio. But, again, brand new tornado watch just issued, quite a high-end one as well. Again, that's a pretty intense-looking watch there. Again, that includes areas like Champaign, Illinois, back through Paducah, Kentucky, over towards Indianapolis. Again, we have seen the potential of these supercells, and it is extreme. Extreme. So I seriously pray that everybody was okay there and took the warning as seriously as possible on the north side of St. Louis, because, again, that was by far the strongest tornado we've ever seen hit St. Louis on live stream. Again, a catastrophic tornado, to say the least. No doubt about it. Again, it was violent. It was deadly. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Springfield, Illinois. This is for some quarter-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. If you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors immediately. Give me just a second here. Okay. So, again, we seriously have to hope and pray that everybody took that warning properly, because if not, I mean, that's not, again, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that's not the kind of tornado that you survive if you're not trying. If that hits you in, like, a mobile home, unfortunately, again, it's very dark and gruesome, and we don't like to talk this way most of the time, but if something like that hits you in a mobile home, the likelihood of you surviving is incredibly low. So, again, I really do pray that everybody took that as seriously as possible. Again, that was likely a significant tornado there that just ripped through the north side of the St. Louis metro area. Give me just a second here. Again, I got to update a few folks on the situation that we just had. Again, this is unbelievable. Okay. Give me just a sec. Alright. So again, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in here this afternoon. I wish that we could start this off on a lighter note, but again, unfortunately, we just had a extremely violent tornado hit the downtown St. Louis metro area. Again, there's no way to sugarcoat that. There's no way to say, oh, it's okay, at least. This was a worst-case scenario situation. My gosh, dude. There was also an unbelievable dust storm associated with this. Oh my gosh. Brand new tornado warning just issued that's going to be going out for areas northeast of Salem. This is for parts of Highway 8 in between Potosi and Salem, Missouri. Got a pretty impressive rotational couplet there just west of Highway 72. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. It's another supercell that's going to mature and potentially have the capabilities of doing something nasty. I'm still very, very concerned about our supercell south of Piedmont. Again, this is going to have the potential to produce a tornado just as strong as what we just saw happen in St. Louis. Again, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. But again, I can't believe what just happened. Again, I'm kind of just in shock right now. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we just had a violent tornado impact the St. Louis metro area with likely wind gusts up to 200 miles an hour. That is unbelievable. Again, it hit downtown Clayton, then went through the north side of St. Louis. What's up, camp? If you're just now tuning in, we just had a violent tornado impact downtown St. Louis, Missouri with an unbelievable debris signature. Again, this thing was damaging at best and just catastrophic at worst. So again, I really do pray that everybody took that alert as seriously as they ever could. Because, again, that's the kind of tornado that you do not play around with. Again, 4-mile wide debris signature, but velocities were well over 150 miles an hour, close to 200 miles an hour. So, again, I hope and pray that everybody took that as seriously as possible. Our area of rotation with our brand new tornado warning is continuing to ramp up here north of Salem. So again, if you're along Highway 68 there in between Salem and St. James, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Additionally, our supercell closer to Greenville and Williamsonville there is continuing to have a signature that makes it pretty evident that this is trying to produce a tornado. Hurricane Theta with the $2 dono. I just saw Dust Devil / Landspout in Riverside, California. Those are always awesome to see. A lot of times those are referred to as eddies. Those little tornadoes that they're not really tornadoes, but those little areas of circulation that touch down for just a second. They pick up a bunch of leaves and sticks. But congratulations and thank you so much for the $2 dono. Let's get some W Hurricane Thetas in the chat. Donating is optional. It is optional, but it is greatly appreciated for the ones that do donate. So thank you so much. Peak gate to gate is 199 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, it's horrible. Again, that was at the surface level, too. It's not like that was elevated. That's unbelievable. But thank you so much, Theta, for the $2 donation. W Theta's in the chat. Again, donation last night was incredible as well, so thank you so much, dude. Greatly appreciated. But, again, significant to violent tornado just impacted the St. Louis metro area. What was elevated gate to gate? Let's find that out. So what we can do here is look from a radar site further away. For example, the Lincoln radar. That may be a little too far. All right, CSI, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, too far away. Let's check Paducah. Do we have anything? Probably not. We'll try to see, though. Okay, we do. Wow. So this is what it looked like as it moved over Clayton from the Paducah, Kentucky radar. Again, a nasty, large velocity couplet there. A huge velocity couplet. Again, this is very elevated, and this is not the actual size of the condensation funnel, but the area of rotation was massive. I mean, it was huge. Huge, guys. So again, prayers for everybody in Clayton and on the north side of St. Louis, Missouri, because that was just, again, to be quite frank, the strongest tornado that we've seen hit Missouri on this channel. Again, that area of rotation is still intact, moving over Glen Carbon and Edwardsville. It's much more broad, but still something to look out for in case that does try to recycle. Again, at this point, I'm more concerned about some of these southeastern Missouri supercells because these are actually going to have the potential to remain discrete. And if that does end up happening, there's a good chance that these are going to try to produce a couple of strong tornadoes here through portions of far southeastern Missouri, western Kentucky, and far southern Illinois. So we'll continue to watch out for that over the next several hours. Again, that's kind of what we were thinking our main tornado threat would be associated with today. But again, apparently it was a random supercell embedded in a QLCS near St. Louis. But again, I mean, the new run of the HRRR here by 6 p.m., again, there's not a lot to say other than you need to be prepared to the maximum if you are across the Mississippi Valley or the Ohio Valley later tonight. Again, this is 6 p.m. Look at all those discrete, nasty supercells moving through a tornadically primed environment. Absolutely primed. Again, this is the kind of thing that you do not want to see. And unfortunately, there are quite a few metro areas out here. I mean, you've got Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana. You've got St. Louis, Missouri, obviously. I mean, it's awful, guys. It's never what you want to see. We did just get an upgrade to a tornado warning in Missouri here. Okay. This is our tornado warning for areas south of Fredericktown along Highway 67. This is now a law enforcement confirmed tornado just east of Des Arc. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This was confirmed as it was south of Annapolis. So likely it's still an ongoing tornado here near Coldwater and Cascade. If you're in this area, you do need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Our area of rotation is still getting more impressive here with our supercell north of Salem, Missouri, so we'll continue to watch out for that as well. Again, our St. Louis supercell at this point, the rotation is continuing to broaden out as it is no longer a discrete supercell. But, I mean, that was unbelievable. That was one of the most extreme situations we've ever covered live on stream. That is insane. And again, tornado watch just extended off to the east. This now includes most of the state of Indiana, western Kentucky, extreme southeast Missouri, and most of the state of Illinois. Just looking at some of the parameters with this, again, take a look at the probabilities. You can see that this is an 80-60 tornado watch. Well, what does that mean? That means that there's an 80% chance of a tornado touching down, or I think 2 or more tornadoes touching down anywhere in this watch area. So, again, anywhere from, again, Champaign-Urbana, back through Indianapolis, back through Evansville, back through St. Louis, there is an 80% chance of multiple tornadoes touching down today, and there's a 60% chance of a couple of strong tornadoes being associated with that. What is a strong tornado? A tornado that's classified as having EF2 or greater damage associated with it. So, again, we are going to hope and pray that this is not going to be what nearly as significant as we think. But after what we just saw in St. Louis, unfortunately, that is very unlikely. Very unlikely. But, again, I was kind of surprised it's not a PDS watch as well, Orcs. I mean, that's unbelievable. We've got 5,000 to 6,000 cape. We've got 80 knots of shear. I don't know what you need for an environment. You got a discrete storm mode. I don't know what else they're looking for. But, again, obviously Storm Prediction Center, National Weather Service know best, and you need to take this watch polygon very seriously. But, again, we're still awaiting reports of damage here from downtown St. Louis. Oh my goodness, this has to be fake, yeah. Alright, so severe thunderstorm warning just upgraded for downtown Springfield, Illinois. Now warned for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour and hail up to ping pong ball size. If you are in downtown Springfield, Illinois, you need to make sure that you are getting indoors and away from windows immediately. This sucker's looking pretty nasty here. Again, it's about to merge with this supercell off to the north, so we'll see what that does as this approaches downtown Springfield, and eventually it's going to make its way all the way over to the National Weather Service office in Lincoln. Again, taking a look at those vertically integrated liquid signatures, we can see all these different hail cores associated with these several separate supercells. Again, we are awaiting reports of damage out of St. Louis. Again, the fact that we don't have quite as many yet makes me hope that, hey, this wasn't quite as significant as we thought. We do have photos of downed trees and power lines, but again, that's really not anything too crazy, especially with a tornado that was that intense. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, it gets a lot worse. I'm reposting all this stuff on my Twitter if you guys want to take a look at it again. We can't bring it up on stream for the most part, unfortunately. But we are already seeing some extreme damage in these neighborhoods. Oh my gosh. Again, unbelievable tornado. Again, visible from the St. Louis Arch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've got... wow. Again, we've got uprooted trees there, widespread across the downtown area from what we've seen. We've got some roof damage. There's also quite a few photos and videos of hail. Seeing a lot of that going around. Again, if you guys have anything that you want me to look at, make sure to tag me on Twitter. But wow, I mean, I can't believe that. Again, a catastrophic tornado just impacted the downtown St. Louis metro area, if you are just now tuning in. And again, we're going to hope and pray that this is not quite as significant as we thought. But, man. Again, already seeing extreme damage. And again, it looks like the most concentrated this tornado's strength was when it was over Clayton. It was PDS camp, not Torrey. It very well could have gone tornado emergency if it had just stayed on the ground for longer. But yeah. Still a very strong area rotation just crossed over Highway 67. Oh my gosh. Look at that incoming shelf cloud there. I don't think this is a funnel. I think that this is an SLC, but definitely something to watch. Are tornado emergencies only for metros? Not always, but usually they are for areas with higher population density. But for example, last year in western Kentucky, we had several tornado emergencies for areas that had less than 500 people. So not always. By the way, likely a developing tornado here northeast of Breese, Illinois. Pretty impressive velocity couplet there. So if you're in this area, make sure that you are ready to seek shelter if necessary. There's the potential that this was a very light debris signature, but I don't think so. I think that's mostly just contamination there. But if you're out here in Vandalia or Greenville along I-70, you need to make sure that you are prepared, at the very least. And there we go. They did just give that supercell a severe thunderstorm warning. So new severe thunderstorm warning for Vandalia, Kimundi, and Pleasant Mound in south-central Illinois for quarter-sized hail, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. It does have the tornado possible tag on it, as it does have some broad rotation there. But again, awaiting to see what the heck's going to happen here out of our southeastern Missouri cell. We did just get an update to the southern tornado warning for this cell that originally went observed. So if that sounds completely confusing, you're not alone. This tornado was observed as it was south and east of Annapolis. Then it went down to radar indicated for the northern warning, and now the southern warning is upgraded to observe. The reason that this has two warnings is because it's two different National Weather Service warning offices. The northern one is the area that St. Louis covers. The southern one is for NWS Paducah, and again, that is likely still an ongoing tornado, as we now have National Weather Service Paducah, Kentucky spotters reporting an ongoing tornado near Baker State Park. So if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. This is near Coldwater and Cascade in southeastern Missouri. We did just get another report of damage here. We've got apparently considerable wind damage to an apartment building with windows being blown out. So again, starting to see some of those more intense damage reports come in. Again, if you're just not tuning in, we just had a violent tornado impact the northwest side of St. Louis, Missouri, near the community of Clayton. Again, we're hoping that it's not nearly as significant as we thought, but when did the SPC upgrade to a moderate? It was actually yesterday around lunchtime. Again, in my opinion, this should have been a high-risk setup here. But moderate risk of severe weather driven by every feature. 15% hatched tornado probability, a 45% hatched large hail probability, and a 45% hatched risk of damaging wind gusts as well. Again, this is an all hazards in play type situation, and all hazards are extreme today. Again, we just had what was likely a violent tornado impact the St. Louis metro area in southeastern Missouri. So again, prayers for everybody involved. We're starting to see reports of extreme damage come in. Extreme damage. So, again, we're going to hope that this wasn't as significant as we thought, but wow. Again, I keep refreshing here, and every single refresh, things get more and more extreme. Again, I'm reposting all this stuff on my Twitter page. Again, we can't bring it up on YouTube, unfortunately, but we've got significant structural damage. My goodness. Again, big old hail dropper as well. Some huge hail there. Again, this was a violent tornado. This was a good quarter-mile wide at least. Oh my gosh. Again, some unreal tree damage here. Wow, dude. Again, unbelievable stuff that we're currently seeing come in. So, again, we do have several chasers out there right now. The one that we have up just above my head is going to be Storm Intermedia. They're located just southwest of Scott City. Again, they're going to be approaching some of these southeastern Missouri supercells that we have that are currently tornado-warned along Highway 67. Some of these are going to have the potential to produce a couple of strong tornadoes. Again, likely a significant tornado ongoing with our northern supercell approaching Marquand, as National Weather Service spotters for Paducah, Kentucky, as well as law enforcement near Annapolis confirmed that this is an ongoing tornado. So, again, if you're out here in Marquand or in Cascade, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. And the supercell that we were talking about near Vandalia, Illinois, did just get a brand new tornado warning. So this is going out for Vandalia, Kimundi, and areas south of Pleasant Mound. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Again, if this does produce a tornado, it's going to be located right along Highway 127, southwest of Tamalco, right over Marydale. So again, make sure that you are staying in your safe spot if you're in this area. Again, likely a supercell that's going to have a great potential to produce a tornado as it moves off to the east-northeast. Again, that'll be heading in the general vicinity of Effingham. Again, awful stuff that we're seeing come in from the St. Louis metro already, to say the least. Again, just unreal tornado damage. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh my gosh, yeah. We don't have any reports of any injuries or fatalities yet, so that's good. Again, I really hope and pray that everybody took that warning as seriously as possible because, oh yeah, we've got entirely destroyed outbuildings. Again, this was a significant tornado. Again, likely EF3 plus intensity from what we've seen so far. Alright. So we did get reports of treetops broken from southwest of Greenville, and this is kind of making me suspicious because this is right over where our velocity couplet was, so again, there's a decent chance that this is actively producing a tornado near Shook, Missouri. Again, the velocities with this are very impressive. Outbound velocities at 130 miles an hour, again, going one way there. So, likely a significant tornado developing, if not already on the ground here, east of Greenville, Missouri. So, if you're in this area, you do need to make sure that you are in your safe spot. Again, either underground or in a storm shelter or on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. But we're continuing to watch our supercells as they move into Illinois, as they continue to have some broad rotation associated with them, so we'll see what happens there. But again, our most significant tornado of the day coming from St. Louis, Missouri. I would like to note we actually did have a pretty impressive tornado earlier today, further off to the west here. This was in the general vicinity of Rolla, Missouri. We had some extremely impressive velocities and a very large debris signature actually visible from, I believe it was the Springfield, Missouri radar. But we'll go ahead and take a look here, see if we can find this again. Was it this? Yes, it was. No. No, it wasn't. What is this? Northeast of Ellington. Over Annapolis right now. Is that a debris signature? It would match up perfectly. I genuinely can't tell if that's a debris signature or not, but it's been pretty consistent on the CC. No confirmation, though, so for right now, we'll not worry about that quite as much. But we did have a very significant tornado north of Mountain View, Missouri, earlier, is what I was saying. The one off to the west of Summersville. Large debris signature visible. There it is. Again, this moves south of Yukon, likely causing extreme damage along Highway 137. So again, pretty devastating stuff. Already today, again, we are not even close to the peak time frame for this event. Again, the area where we're most concerned about is going to be generally western Kentucky through southwestern Indiana, as we're going to have the potential for discrete supercells along the open warm sector out here, and that's going to allow them to take advantage of this nice, beautiful environment, all that extreme instability, and that thunderstorm juice, as we like to call it out here, as we go into the evening time hours today. Again, 6 p.m. on the 19ZH run. I mean, this is unbelievable. You don't see stuff like that too often in this part of the world. This is not Dixie Alley. This is Southern Illinois and Western Kentucky, and we are seeing unbelievable, discrete, nasty, likely tornadic thunderstorms as we go into the evening time hours. But anyway, again, prayers for all involved in the St. Louis disaster that we just had. We're getting more reports of damage coming in. Again, more trees downed. Again, a lot of tree damage, but we have seen some outbuildings destroyed as well. So, we'll see what kind of reports we can see to get here over the next several minutes. Again, if you have anything you'd like me to see, make sure to @ me on Twitter. But, again, just unbelievable damage that we've seen so far. Again, that's horrible. Wow. Again, we've got, blown windows at all these apartment complexes. That's something that you see with, like, a high-end derecho. That was something that was very consistent with the Cedar Rapids derecho back in 2020. And a lot of hail. Wow. Again, a lot of road closures very likely here soon near the Forest Park area in St. Louis, as that's where the tornado crossed over. Seeing numerous trees downed. So again, I'd avoid travel in that area if possible. Did the stream crash? No, we're good. Any of this heading my way? Absolutely. This little supercell south of Vandalia, I'm going to kind of watch to head towards my general vicinity. It's probably going to go just south of me, knowing my luck, but we'll see what happens. But yeah. Again, we are going to be getting, hopefully, some good storm footage for you guys tonight out here in eastern Illinois. New severe thunderstorm warning going out for Lincoln, Clinton, and areas south of Bloomington, Illinois. This is for lime-sized hail and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Currently a big old hail core there along I-72 over Springfield. So again, if you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors and away from windows. This is trained weather spotters confirmed lime-sized hail now. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you're taking the proper precautions. That is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning going out for downtown Springfield, Illinois. And again, our supercells east of the St. Louis Metro, not anything close to discrete, but pretty concerning for a damaging wind and large hail threat. And again, they don't have to be entirely discrete for a tornado threat in this kind of environment. This one that is discrete near Nashville looks very intense to me. It just split, and it is developing some pretty concerning rotation over Lively Grove, or at least the beginning signs of some impressive rotation there. The velocity scan's a few minutes outdated, but we'll see what happens. Again, really watching this far southeastern Missouri supercells. We have been for a while. Northwest of Puxico, pretty impressive velocity couplet. Again, as this was moving through Van Buren, it looked even more concerning. Which, again, the area of Van Buren does not need any more problems. Is this going to hit Indianapolis bad? So Indianapolis is mainly going to be looking at a damaging wind threat, because by the time that these supercells make their way over to you, they're going to be entirely embedded in a QLCS line. So damaging winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour are going to be possible in downtown Indy, potentially some large hail as well, but the tornado threat remains relatively low. Not zero, but pretty low. Again, if you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Getting a report of a snap flagpole from Madison County as the tornado was roping out. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, no problem. Again, if you know anybody out here in the Midwest, make sure to share this stream out to them because we are going to be here all evening covering this live. Again, already seeing some extreme damage out of the St. Louis metro area after a violent tornado ripped through. Again, very unfortunate stuff to see. Wow. Unbelievable. Again, looking for more reports of damage and videos. By the way, the tornado that we had in western Wisconsin yesterday officially got rated at low-end EF2 intensity. New severe thunderstorm warning going out for Madison. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and penny-sized hail. Just a little stray cell there, right over the Mount Horeb area. But again, obviously our main concern and focus right now has to be over southeast Missouri and southern Illinois as these supercells continue to look more and more impressive here by the second. Again, we do actually have a pretty impressive few supercells here in southeastern Missouri. Again, the one that I'm most concerned about right now is going to be located just southeast of Piedmont. Again, our Chaser Stormer Media just above my head there. They are on that one. DL Scales and Garrett Thompson. So we should have a decent view of that if anything does try to happen with that one. Again, still watching some of our supercells here developing in southern Illinois. The one near Lively Grove in Nashville. Again, this is catching my attention here. It's got that classic supercellular shape even in the premature stages of its development. So, good chance that things get pretty intense there pretty fast. Friend lives in Bloomington, Indiana. Yeah, Bloomington's going to be looking for a pretty real tornado threat today. Again, you're included in the moderate risk of severe weather there in Bloomington. I do think that for the most part, you're mainly going to be looking out for damaging winds, but an embedded QLCS tornado can't be ruled out around 7, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But yeah, nothing too intense, hopefully, for downtown Bloomington other than some wind. But again, some of these southern Illinois cells starting to get a little bit more concerning here. Again, we've got a pretty poor radar coverage area over this general vicinity. And they did go ahead and severe thunderstorm warn the one that we were just talking about near Nashville and Irvington. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. So if you're along I-64 north of Nashville, you need to make sure that you are getting indoors immediately. Again, this does have the tornado possible tag on it as some broad circulation starting to develop there near Lively Grove. But again, I'm concerned about these southeastern Missouri cells, man. New tornado warning just issued for Sedgwickville, Missouri. This is for our cell that's previously produced a tornado near Marquand. If you're in this area, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. So reports of Highway 72 east of Fredericktown, west of Oak Ridge. So make sure you're taking that one seriously, taking shelter. Again, still somewhat concerned about our supercell near Vandalia. It's definitely not got the most impressive area of inflow, but that may change here pretty shortly. So we'll see what happens. We do also have a lower threat, obviously, but still a decently significant one of severe weather here on the East Coast today. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for the west side of the Washington, D.C. metro for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. We're going to be watching mainly for damaging wind and large hail threat, but we actually did have some rotating supercells in southern New Jersey this morning. And I wouldn't rule out a couple of those in portions of Virginia or maybe southern Maryland as we go later into the evening time hours as well. Instability remains relatively low, but obviously, overall, not a terrible environment. So we'll see what happens. Again, main area of concern right now coming with our Puxico cell, I'd say. But I don't want to disregard any of these, as they all have the potential to be pretty significant. This is a live look from Puxico. This is a Radar Omega Cyclone port. See if we can spot anything. Nothing as of right now that we're seeing. Yeah. Again, just don't be scared. Be prepared. Just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, know where the storms are at, and know when they're going to be towards you. And you're doing the best that you can. So, new radar scans coming in on all the radar products here for our supercell southwest of Nashville. Again, continuing to get more concerning as this approaches Plum Hill and areas along I-64. So if you're in this area, make sure you are prepared to seek shelter if necessary. Again, looking at some of these southeastern Missouri cells for an immediate tornado threat. I think pretty soon here we're going to start to see some convection pop up across parts of western Kentucky and far southeast Missouri in the open warm sector, and that could potentially create a pretty significant tornado threat down here for a lot of these areas, as, again, this environment is stacked. I mean, this is a loaded gun environment. You've got, 5 to 6,000 Cape, you've got 80 knots of shear. Whoa, Richard with the $5 donation. W. Richards in the chat. Thanks for the coverage. No problem. Thank you for tuning in, dude. Thank you so much. Again, throw those W's down in the chat for Richard below. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Greatly appreciated, dude. Again, we try to do our best here to provide accurate and honest information, and obviously that's very important in a day like today. Why is my... Okay, fixed it. I accidentally dragged the warnings off the screen, but... again, trying to do our best here, so I really do appreciate that $5 donation. It lets me know that this is going to be a potential for a career option for me in the future, and again, a lot of times we end up donating back to these communities that have been hit, especially after significant severe weather events. So thank you so much for the $5 donation, W. Richards, in the chat, if you have not already. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued. That's going to be going out for Taylorville and areas south of Decatur in central Illinois. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. If you're in this area, make sure you are moving indoors immediately. That cluster of supercells making its way over to you, mainly going to bring some damaging winds and heavy rain. Make sure you're taking that pretty seriously there. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings, nothing to play around with. Those are obviously, those wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour are probably going to be the most dangerous thing in a situation like that. Have the potential to down trees and power lines. Speaking of down trees, again, continuing to see more photos of intense tree shredding and uprooting here from the northwest side of St. Louis. Again, luckily, I mean, it's not nearly as significant as it could have been, at least from what we've seen so far. Again, likely EF2, EF3 intensity. Got some outbuildings destroyed. Okay. Here's our first pretty serious damage. At the Forest Park area, again, we have... I don't even know what this is. Let me bring this up on your screen. What would this be? This is just like a crack in the earth. I don't know what this is supposed to be. But that's there. Again, that is in Forest Park. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. That's going to be going out for portions of central Illinois. That's for a supercell that's racing off to the northeast. Sorry, that's not the new warning. The new warning is going to be... Does it not come out yet? Maybe not. On Radar Omega. Anyway. What's going on, Peachy? Continuing to watch these southeastern Missouri cells here, man. Again, I would not be shocked to see these try and do something over the next several minutes. Again, we got a lot of chasers out here. This is where most people have positioned today for a hopeful intercept of a, photogenic tornado. So, we'll see what happens. Again, this Illinois cell here near Nashville is concerning me quite a bit. Likely dropping some big old hail there over Nashville right now, but definitely trying to rotate a little bit as well. So, we'll see if that tries to put anything down here over the next 30 minutes or so, I'd say. But again, I mean, we're pretty calm right now. We went from the most extreme situation possible, where we've got a strong tornado hitting one of the largest metros in the Midwest, to not a lot happening. But, I mean, again, just unbelievable stuff that we're starting to see come out of Clayton and downtown St. Louis, unfortunately. It's kind of mesmerizing to see that area of rotation get sucked back into the QLCS. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty gnarly, and unfortunately just a taste of what we're likely going to have the potential to see today. So let's see. Apparently there was a school that got hit by this. Oh my gosh. Again, this is awful, guys. I really think that we're going to start to see some pretty extreme stuff come out of the Clayton area here pretty soon. But, again, just all we can do is wait. Again, I pray to God that everybody took that warning seriously and took shelter. Again, you don't see something like that in an area that populated almost ever. But, again, it's unfortunate. Again, you can see it from the St. Louis, or the Evansville radar there. Look at those velocities. Again, obviously very contaminated and very high up in the atmosphere, but you can see your tornado there pretty clearly. Or actually, this would have been your tornado off to the west. That was our southern area rotation that we had with it. Again, very concerning that we can notice a intense to violent tornado all the way from the Evansville radar. Likely indicative of a, again, very extreme high-end tornado. Again, luckily, it was not very long tracking whatsoever. It was on the ground for about 10 minutes. But it doesn't take but 10 minutes to cause devastation. So, again, we're going to continue to wait and see what happens here with our supercell north of Bloomfield. Starting to see some pretty gnarly imagery from the surface there from multiple storm chasers. But I still want to focus on these Southern Illinois supercells. Again, I'm partially biased, obviously, but I really do think that some of these are pretty concerning. Again, we're waiting in general for Western Kentucky to show us something. Because that's going to be the area that has the best environment. We do have a little thunder shower here developing southeast of Tams in Illinois. So we'll see what that does, but anyway. Again, still got a pretty impressive little supercell there on the south side of St. Louis right now. I can't click on the stupid radar because this little hail damage indicator's there. But still got a little baby supercell there over I-255 at this point. Obviously, you're not going to have nearly as good of an environment for the development of a tornado threat, but still something to watch. Also, our supercell over Nashville, again, continuing to develop a more impressive little hook echo. They're also now upgraded to golf ball size hail tag. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any PayPal donations real quick, because I always feel super bad when I do. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we missed a lot. We missed a lot. Oh my gosh, we missed a lot. We have Alan with the $100 donation and William with the 10. W's for Alan and William in the chat. God bless you guys. That is incredible. Thank you so much, Alan and William, for the $110 donations. That is unbelievable. W's down below in the chat. The two goats of the community. The goats. Alan and William. There's no debate. They're right here, man. I mean, they're the goats of the community. So thank you so much, Alan, especially for the $100 donation. That is unbelievable. Again, it really does warm my heart to know that there's still people out there in the world that care about this kind of stuff and do want to support a smaller creator, especially to that degree. I mean, that is insane. You did not have to do that. But thank you so much, Alan, and thank you, William, as well. William, you rock as well, my dude. So thank you so much for the $100 and the $10 donations, respectively. Again, that is incredible. W's in the chat for Alan and William, if you've not already. If you don't already know, they are some of the most generous people in the weather community. So thank you so much, William, for the $10 donation, and Alan for the $100 dono. That is incredible. Thank you so much, Alan. You're a goat, man. Again, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. You did not have to do that. That's amazing. Again, Alan is legitimately the top donor of all time. So thank you so much, Alan. That's incredible. Gotta support the grind. Thank you so much, dude. That's amazing. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Again, especially in a gnarly time like this, it's pretty heartwarming. But yeah, thank you so much. That's amazing. Again, I'm so sorry that I missed those. If you ever do a PayPal donation, you want me to see it, please just let me know. Because, again, it doesn't send me a notification whenever we get a PayPal donation. But thank you so much, bro. Again, Alan and William both. That is incredible. Anyways, again, going back off to our supercell south of Vandalia. Rotation is kind of hard to see right now just because of how far we are away from all the radar sites. We're in a pretty bad radar hole, but still very noticeable there at the same time, south of the Wilburton area. Again, pretty much right over Leicester and west of Kimundi. Again, is your strong area of circulation there. That's going to be moving up I-57 towards Laclede, Edgewood, Watson, and even Effingham need to be on the lookout here over the next several minutes. Again, pretty concerning area rotation right now. Again, you guys are goated, dude. Thank you so much. Again, God bless, guys. That's incredible. Again, continuing to watch our Nashville Supercell as well. This has some decent broad rotation with it, and it's got room to grow in this kind of environment, especially with how discreet it is, so we'll look out for it. I'm still quite concerned about this southeastern Missouri cell. There's a good chance that this is actively producing a tornado with how strong those velocities are, confirmed via multiple radar sites. So we've really got to watch that.
I may be able to come up to you.
But again, storm intermediate is on that one, so if anything does happen, it'll be visible just above my forehead there. I don't know why I said my forehead, not just my head, but my forehead in particular, I suppose. So again, very gnarly stuff starting to come in here from the St. Louis Metro. Again, not nearly as bad as it could have been. I'll say that much. Oh, wow. Yeah, a lot of roof damage, to say the least. Wow. Yeah, pretty nasty stuff. We've also got photos and videos of cars flipped over, unfortunately. Gosh. A lot of low-end structural damage. I did notice while it was ongoing that the debris signature wasn't that deep, and that's the only thing that made me think, hey, maybe this isn't that violent. But still, definitely a significant tornado. Again, there's some of your roof damage. Again, this home in particular looks like it got hit pretty hard there. The entire second floor is kind of collapsed. Again, there's a closer view. And here is your look at the Metro, even. Got some roof damage there. So, we'll continue to watch reports and videos and imagery coming in from that area. New tornado warning just issued for southeastern portions of Fayette County for parts of I-57 southwest of Effingham. If you're in this area, you need to remain in your safe spot. We've also got another area of rotation developing further north near St. Elmo. So if you're in that area, you need to be prepared. Again, we're likely going to see a new tornado warning come out here pretty soon for areas southwest of Effingham and maybe even including Effingham because these are two different National Weather Service offices. Fayette County is for NWS St. Louis, and Effingham County is for NWS Lincoln. But again, pretty concerned about our southern area of rotation there, and that is the one that has prompted our new tornado warning. So we'll continue to watch that as that moves across I-57 here very shortly. New severe thunderstorm warning going out for Potosi and Bloomsdale, Missouri for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Got a couple of supercells making their way through the Highway 67 corridor. Close to I-55 there as well. So again, if there's an ongoing tornado with this, Brad Arnold would pretty much be in it. Doesn't look to be the case. We've got some elevated winds, but nothing tornadic yet. But again, if you're in this area, you do need to remain in your safe spot. Looks like a big hail dropper as well. Again, warned for large apple-sized hail. Again, that's another thing. The hail threat today, very extreme. Our tornado watches have been mentioning, widespread hail up to softball size likely. Widespread. It's not a tag they usually use. So, you got to be on high alert today for every possible hazard out here in the Ohio Valley. But anyway. We've been trying to think of a name, William, because we know you've been talking about that idea. We don't really know what we want to do yet. But definitely something we should discuss further in the future. Anyway. And there we go. New tornado warning just issued. Wow. This goes all the way out to parts of southwestern Cumberland County. Give me just a second here. This is going out for Effingham, Watson, Diedrich, and Montrose, as well as Lilyville in central Illinois. If you're in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is along I-57 south of Effingham is where our area of rotation is going to be crossing here very shortly south of Watson. So if you're in this area, again, you need to remain in your safe spot, either underground or in a storm shelter or on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and in an interior room. Give me just a second here. Again, gotta notify a few people about this because I do have friends and family out here in this area. I mean, this is this is basically my house. Not quite there yet, but give me just a second here. I'm gonna mute up because again, I've got a few family members out here driving and traveling through this, so we gotta make sure they're doing okay. Again, give me just a second, chat. All right, chat. We had to let the fam know what was going on. Again, had to notify a few people out here because, again, I mean, I've got, plenty of family out here in this area. I mean, this is my neck of the woods here, guys. So, again, our area of rotation is going to be just along I-57 approaching Watson and Effingham. If you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter. It also includes Diedrich and surrounding areas. Winnie Gaming is the best. New tornado warning just issued for Jackson, Missouri. This is going to be northwest of Cape Girardeau. I'm assuming you're just Kevin, or not Kevin. I'm assuming you're Grant. I don't know why I said Kevin, but if you're seriously worried about Cape Girardeau, just be on the lookout. I will say it looks like these supercells are going to be splitting over you, so good chance that you actually miss all the action there in Cape Girardeau, but there's going to be, again, that brand new tornado warning there going out to your north for Jackson. Again, got that tight area circulation, actually, northeast of Marble Hill. So, again, potential for a brief tornado in this area for sure. Kind of been watching this supercell for a while. Hearing that nasty thunder out there. And then, again, the cell off to your south there near the Morley area is tornado warned as well. Oh, you've got an ant out there in that area, yeah. So, Cape Girardeau, if she's in Cape Girardeau, she should be fine, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they sounded the sirens in Cape Girardeau, just because there's multiple tornado warnings in the county. But the actual town of Cape Girardeau does not really have any sort of danger in this situation. But again, continuing to watch this area of rotation move up I-57 through southeastern Fayette and southern Effingham counties in central Illinois. Again, we're going to see what this can do. They did just, what just happened? Oh, it just keeps disappearing and reappearing. Okay, they canceled it. They canceled the tornado warning for southern Fayette County. I was like, what the heck are they doing? So, all clear for areas south of Vandalia. But, again, pretty impressive area of circulation there approaching Diedrich. So, we'll see what that does. Again, that's going to be riding up I-57 as we speak. Approaching Effingham. Again, Effingham, you need to be in your safe spot, as well as far southwestern Cumberland County. Again, in case I've got any, friends or families out here watching, the tornado warning as of right now does not include Toledo or Greenup, but we do have it going out for far southwestern parts of Cumberland County. Again, Effingham, Watson, Diedrich. That's the area that we're concerned about right now for our main tornado threat. Cumberland County, for the most part, is going to be A-OK at the moment. But, again, stay on alert here, and we'll continue to bring you more updates. So, again, back to southern Missouri here. Some of these supercells starting to develop some really impressive rotation. Again, Storm Chaser Brad Arnold pretty much in the thick of things here with our southern tornado warning near Orrin. Our northern cell, though, at this point is the one that's more impressive to me. Again, that area of circulation getting very strong as it approaches Starlight and Jackson. So if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are in your safe spot. Again, either underground in a storm shelter or on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Again, looking to be pretty intense there. So, good chance that that is actively producing a tornado, but it's not confirmed. But, again, still just waiting to see what the heck happened in St. Louis. Again, very significant tornado debris widespread across the St. Louis metro at a point. Again, the velocities indicated a tornado likely of, EF3, EF4 intensity there. So, again, just unbelievable stuff, especially for the Clayton area, but also West St. Louis. The tornado was at its strongest by far. Again, luckily that cell merger kind of choked off its inflow, and it's just died ever since, really, but still devastating stuff that we're starting to see coming out there. Again, I really do hope and pray that everybody took shelter, because that's not, the kind of tornado that you want to play around with and just, ride it out in your living room. Again, starting to see photos of some serious house damage, like entire second floor of houses destroyed. Also, more damage photos from the Forest Park golf course in St. Louis. Starting to see some, again, just outbuilding damage for the most part. Some patio destruction, it looks like. What in the world? Look at all that tree mangling. I'm assuming they pushed all those branches over there. They didn't just fall over there, but still pretty incredible. So, again, we'll see what else we can find out here. Oh, my gosh. Wow. So, we're starting to see, again, more serious photos and videos of damage, unfortunately, from residential areas. Here's some photos of some serious roof damage. Again, damage to outbuildings. Very sad stuff to start to see come in there. Again, hopefully everybody was taking that one seriously, because that was not one to play around with. Luckily, it was PDS warned and everything, so the National Weather Services made the right move. But unfortunately, there's still some folks that are going to think, oh, I didn't... Holy crap! What did I miss? Alan, with the 10 gifted Davis Does Weather membership and the renewal of a membership for 4 months. Wow. W. Allen's in the chat. Thank you so much, Alan, for the 10 gifted Davis Does Weather memberships. Congrats to Angie, Cinderly, Wright, RM Covers, Hurricane Theta, Storm Chaser 575, Lee, Randall, Kaisha, and Pixie Dust Creations. Wow. W's in the chat for Alan. God bless Alan, man. That is incredible. Hold on. We need to quickly take a look at something here. Storm Media may have an ongoing tornado. Yeah. How do we miss that? This is now an ongoing tornado in Missouri. We've got a lot of ground circulation there. Again, Alan, we're going to get back to that in just a second. I do not want to underappreciate that one, but we have an ongoing tornado in Missouri via Storm Chaser, Storm Under Media. There we go. There it is live. You'll also notice off to the east, we've got some sort of funnel, or some sort of scuddy funnel at least. But Storm Under Media has a ongoing tornado in Missouri. Okay. So if you're just now tuning in, this is a live look from Storm Chasers DL Scales and Garrett Thompson, professional storm chasers, near the town of Sikeston, Missouri. This is an ongoing tornado. But again, Alan, dude, the 10 gifted memberships. Alan, I'm going to have to pay you back one day. I don't deserve all this. I'm but a man just trying to help out. I really do appreciate that, Alan. That's unbelievable. Again, thank you so much for the 10 gifted Davis Says Weather memberships. If you do want to become a member, make sure to do so by clicking the button next to the chat. You get access to exclusive videos, shoutouts at the end of every forecast, custom stickers to use in chat if any of the members want to show those off. Especially the new members, thanks to Alan, because Alan's the GOAT. Alan is goated. I mean, Alan, that is unbelievable, dude. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you are having an amazing day. I love you, bro. Again, God bless. So, new tornado warning just issued. That was a bad voice crack. New tornado warning just issued. It's going to be going out for Charleston, Missouri, as well as Orrin and Morley. Again, this is now an observed tornado warning, and we actually do have at least one tornado and a funnel cloud ongoing. But you'll notice that we do have two areas of rotation. They're likely indicative of two separate mesocyclones here southeast of Bell City. In Missouri. So again, if you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, this is a live look from Storm Chasers DL Scales and Garrett Thompson at a damaging tornado ongoing near Van Duzer. So Van Duzer, Charleston, Cairo, and Mound City. You need to be seeking shelter immediately. Again, this is right along the Missouri-Illinois state line. But yeah, Alan, I can't thank you enough for that, dude. That's incredible. But again, there you go. There's your little skinny funnel. It's starting to become fully condensed. Again, ongoing tornado. And you can see the funnel off to the right-hand side of the screen, too. If you look way off to the right, that's your secondary area of rotation. Oh, my goodness. So again, this funnel is starting to become more and more condensed. Wow. Yeah, this is a large cone tornado now. Not fully condensed yet, but it's getting there. Oh, dude, the pole's blocking the screen. Trying to get a photo of that. Move it, dude. Come on. Come on, DL.
What's wrong? I need to turn around.
Again, definitely an ongoing tornado there, though. You can see that ground circulation. Look at that. My goodness, dude. So again, cone tornado ongoing via Storm Media. Near the community of Sikeston and Van Duzer, Missouri. So if you're in this area, make sure you are seeking shelter immediately. Again, Alan, we're gonna pay you back one day, bro. But again, here is your ongoing tornado, and again, you can see your second. Oh my goodness, they are getting dangerously. We have twins. We have twins, everybody. Twin tornadoes ongoing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those twins. Look at those twins. Look at those twins. Look at those twin tornadoes ongoing via Storm Media. Oh my goodness. Those are unbelievable. We have unbelievable twin tornadoes ongoing right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get the word out on this on Twitter. We have twin tornadoes ongoing in Missouri. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Again, if you are in this area, you need to be in your safe spot. Again, this is unbelievable. Look at that destructive tornado. Look at that damaging tornado. Look at all that ground circulation. Oh my gosh. Dude, look at that. Look at those twins. Oh my gosh. The one on the left-hand side is not fully condensed, but you can see the funnel there for the most part. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful twin tornadoes ongoing. Look at that. They're meeting. Holy cow. Dude, oh my gosh. Twin tornadoes ongoing. Beautiful twins. Again, at one point, one of them was a pretty large cone. Again, if you're just now tuning in, beautiful twin tornadoes ongoing in Missouri.
Looks like structures hit here.
Wow, look at that. Again, this is a live look from Storm Media. My gosh, dude. I cannot believe what we just saw. Wow. Again, these are twin tornadoes ongoing near the community of Haywood City, Missouri. If you're in this area, you need to be seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. Either not fully condensed at this point or have occluded. But, I mean, we still got ground circulation there. So, again, still likely an ongoing tornado. Also, look off.
It's been putting down multiple circulations.
Look on the right-hand side of the screen. Look at that shelf. Look at all those little scud fingers. They look exactly like funnel clouds.
Oh, the drone. I don't see it, no.
My goodness, dude.
I see it. It's in the middle of the field.
What is going on?
It's up. It's going up, and it's going up in the sky.
Holy cow, dude. I mean, this is unbelievable. Again, we do have permission to use their feed, for anybody wondering.
Zero was jumped out right in front of us.
Again, these are significant tornadoes ongoing in Missouri right now. Alan with the $3 super sticker. Alan, bro.
Yeah, sort of.
Alan is goated. W. Allen's in the chat. Again, everybody, for the $3 super sticker donation. Alan, bro.
Oh, it's back there.
I don't even know what to say at this point, Alan, other than I love you, dude. Alan, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. $1,558. You know, that sounds like something Alan would do. Seriously, though, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Alan. That is incredible. Again, that is amazing. Alan's goated. Anyway, again, likely occluding now. Velocities look less impressive as well, but man, those twin tornadoes, dude. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Wow. Alright, so going back up to Illinois, tornado warning remains in effect for Effingham and areas point southward. At this point, not much noticeable circulation, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. But remain in your safe spot for the next 26 minutes here or until the warning has been canceled. Perhaps a new broad area rotation developing even further south near Bible Grove, but nothing too crazy, I'll be totally honest. Anyway, again, cannot believe what we just saw in southeastern Missouri. Wow. Look at that LP hook echo as well. Holy cow, dude.
I was too mesmerized.
Again, we're going to keep their feet up here. Cannot believe that.
Yeah, you can go east on CC. Yeah. And go all the way across. Do that. Do not go all the way down. I'm not going to.
Wow. Let me go ahead and bring that up for you on your screen again.
Yeah, it's going up. It's going down massive. We're going to go down CC and go up to East Beach.
Actually, it might be down. Nah, no, it's not yet. That's not yet.
Let me bring this up for you. Look at this. Look at those twin tornadoes, dude. Again, you can see the one was fully condensed in a cone at one point. The other never got fully condensed from what we saw. But if that isn't, like, impressive, I don't know what is. I mean, again, I don't know if we've seen anything like that in live time in terms of twin tornadoes on stream. But incredible job to Storm Media for that beautiful intercept. Our LP hook echo continuing to extend even further south there. Area of inflow quite intense near Haywood City. So again, if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are remaining in your safe spot. Wow. Again, unbelievable what just happened there. That's insane. Can you imagine intercepting that? Can you imagine? Anyway. Yeah, that happened. Waiting for these Southern Illinois supercells to convect further. One northeast of Vienna now, looking actually quite impressive here. It's not a good sign whenever you see them taking that early look of a supercellular shape. Not at all. So we're going to hope that they don't manage to become discreet for long enough, or something else manages to stop them. But very impressive to see those that develop that early. And we did actually just get a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of southern Illinois. This is for Newton in areas north of Louisville. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. Again, kind of a little southern area of rotation they're developing just northwest of Louisville, or Louisville, along Highway 45, most likely. Very broad, but still something to watch. Again, right now, the tornado warning does remain in effect for portions of Effingham County. However, rotation looks to be quite weak at this point. Nothing really too noticeable, in all honesty. But, again, unbelievable twin tornadoes near Haywood City, Missouri, just a moment ago. Yeah, again, congrats to Storm Media.
That's one of the tour groups.
Again, I've never seen anything like that in my time. Not via any of our chasers. So, congrats. Again, look at that low precipitation hook echo. CC drop in Jackson. Let's see. Oh, wow, yeah. That is most likely, yep. Does that line up well enough? Yeah, oh, this is 6 minutes ahead, yeah. So, likely an ongoing tornado near Jackson, Missouri. If you're in Jackson, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. Likely a strong tornado ongoing there near Starlight, based off of how deep that debris signature is. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second. Again, tornado ongoing now west of Jackson. Good catch there, Camp. Now moving through Starlight and Jackson, Missouri. Likely a strong tornado. Right up along the Mississippi River, along the Missouri-Illinois state line. It's underwent a cell merger, and that just barely intensified enough to the point where it's able to produce, and is now producing very well. Again, I would not be surprised if this was a significant tornado. Let's actually look here. Can we see debris from the St. Louis radar? I can't click this stupid thing because the stupid hail. No, we cannot. Okay. I mean, that's not saying much because the St. Louis radar is very far away. Let's check Evansville. Again, this isn't always something helpful, but it kind of gives us a good measurement of how high the debris is being lofted into the atmosphere. We can actually see it from the Evansville radar, which is about 125 miles away, unless that's hail contamination. Actually, it looks like that's exactly what it is. But either way, still very impressive. Yeah, SRM had beautiful twins. We brought it up. I mean, that was an incredible... Holy cow! We have a destructive tornado ongoing with our Southern Supercell once again via Storm Media in Missouri. This is a large... What just happened? You guys just saw that, right? We gotta bring that back up full screen. What just happened? That was definitely there. I'm not crazy. Well, I may be, but that... Yeah, that's there. So another large tornado in southeastern Missouri with the same cell that produced twins. Give me just a sec. This is going to be located just northwest of Charleston. Yeah, we did, Sanja. Again, they currently, Storm Media has a large tornado ongoing in Missouri. Oh my gosh, Freddy has a great view of it. Look at Freddy's. Again, destructive tornado ongoing. Look at that. This is live right now, guys. This is from northwest of Charleston, Missouri. A destructive ongoing large cone tornado right now via Stormwater Media and Freddie McKinney. Again, this is a large cone / stovepipe tornado. Wow.
I was just trying to follow east with it. I don't know.
Again, large stovepipe on the ground northwest of Charleston, Missouri right now, guys. If you're in this area, you gotta run, not walk to your safe spot. This looks like a pretty destructive tornado here. This is going to be moving towards Blogget. I bet you this camera has a good view of it. Not quite yet. Look at those winds elevating already, though. Camera's already bouncing around. Likely going to see this tornado encroach on that region here pretty shortly. And again, guys, that's not even our cell with our CC drop. Whatever the heck this is, that cannot be a CC drop. Yeah, that's got to be hail contamination. Or not even hail contamination, but just contamination in general. Yeah. Again, though, look at that supercellular structure on our cell approaching Charleston. Wow. Again, you can see that rear flank downdraft, that RFD surge. I mean, this is a beautiful supercell. Again, this is actually producing a strong tornado. This is approaching Mound City, Illinois. If you're in Mound City, you've got to run, not walk to your safe spot. This is a destructive tornado. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can still see the funnel there.
You go south.
My gosh. Again, unbelievable tornado ongoing northwest of Charleston. This is the same cell that produced our twins just a couple minutes ago. This is Connor's view of it. At this point, a pretty skinny cone. Very much on the ground, though. Wow. Look at how photogenic that is. I'm kind of surprised it's that photogenic. Again, we have very high PWAT values today, so I'm kind of shocked that we've been seeing tornadoes this beautiful. The ones that haven't been destroying cities, anyways. Which have pretty much been all of them outside of the St. Louis one. We've gotten very lucky today with most of them being in decently rural areas. But, again, still waiting for more damage to come in from St. Louis, but we're already seeing partially destroyed structures. And again, even cars being tossed, so. Wow. Yeah, pretty extreme damage coming in from St. Louis. Again, though, we have to focus on what's ongoing, which is this large tornado here, located just northwest of Charleston, Missouri. Again, this is still on the ground. If you're in this area, you need to remain in your safe spot. Again, we can't see it via storm intermediate because it's rain-wrapped to the south, but there it is on Connor's feed. Beautiful cone. Wow. Yeah, oh, it is kind of in between condensed and non-condensed, but you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. That beautiful cone tornado. Wow. So again, this is right now, guys, west of Charleston, Missouri. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you're seeking shelter. Again, very large, fully condensed tornado there. Yeah, I saw it on Freddy's feed. Again, Storm Media had a pretty similar view to that. Just from further away. But anyway, again, unbelievably photogenic tornado ongoing right now. Holy cow, dude. It's sidewinding and everything. My gosh. Yeah, that is unbelievable. Look at that. All that dust it's picking up as well. Again, if you're just now tuning in, a intense tornado ongoing near Blodgett and Porter in southeastern Missouri. It's going to be approaching Charleston and areas to the north near Mound City, Illinois. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. We lost the Blodgett camera. Or it's just not loading on Radar Omega for whatever reason. Look at all that debris. Or are those birds? That is debris. Wow. Yeah, big old destructive debris rainer on Connor Croft's feed. Look at that. Look at that tornado. My goodness. Yeah, this thing is doing a lot of damage here to whatever it's hitting. So again, if you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are running, not walking to your safe spot. Again, this is a very intense tornado. Look at that. Oh, he is getting wildly close to this thing. Holy cow. Again, this is right now. Look at this, guys. Look at all that debris rain. What is he doing? He is getting way too close for comfort here. Oh my goodness. Again, we're losing him. We're losing his feed. Wow. Again, unbelievable. What's up, Vincent? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it hit Blodgett. So the town of, that would be Blodgett. The town of Blodgett, Missouri, just took a direct hit from this destructive tornado. That's why there was so much debris. Oh, gosh. This is awful. Again, simultaneously trying to look at that and going back up to Illinois just to see what's going on in my neck of the woods. But I am... Oh, this is now a PDS tornado warning. Wow. This is now a PDS tornado warning in southeastern Missouri. If you're in this area, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows and in an interior room. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning going out for Mounds, Mound City, Cairo,